all heard about the big Orioles move this offseason? No, you haven't, because there fucking isn't one.
Oof.
All we have minor league deals for Franchy Cordero, Nomar Mazara, Josh Lester, and Ofrady Gomez. Don't worry though, guys. Don't worry. We've got some reinforcements for the rotation. Say hello to Kyle Gibson for a year. Obviously for a year, because the next multi-year free agent deal that Mike Elias gives out to a player will be the very first one he's ever given to any player for this franchise. Everybody else goes and gets DeGrom and Verlander, or even Jamison Tyon and Jose Quintana and Taijuan Walker. Anyone, just anyone. I just want you to get any player and add him to the roster. And there are currently a lot of Orioles fans who are like, oh, you got to trust him. He knows what he's doing. I'm like, sure, we have drafted pretty well. But right now, the list of free agents that Mike Elias has signed include Nate Carnes, Dan Straley, Jose Iglesias, Freddie Galvis, Maikel Franco, Matt Harvey, Robinson Chirinos, Chris Owings, and Rougned Odor. Those are the free agents that keep getting brought into this franchise. Welcome, Kyle Gibson, to an illustrious group. I'm less frustrated by what Mike Elias is doing to the Orioles, which is, allowing the Angelos family to just treat them as a money sink. But beyond that, he's also just treating us really, really stupidly. He's just fucking rude to the fan base to pretend like he didn't say, like, look, he wants to go back and say, oh, you could have somewhat misinterpreted the liftoff comment that he had during this season after the trade deadline, where he sent out the beloved 10-year veteran of the franchise that had survived cancer with us. It's like, oh, don't worry about it, because we're going to significantly escalate payroll this offseason. And honestly, the innings eater pitcher that we have is making less money than the innings eating pitcher we had last year in Jordan Lyles. We didn't even escalate payroll with the one major league free agent that he signed. And whatever you want to say it's going to be for arbitration extensions, where is Adley Rutschman's extension? He's going to be 25 this season. He is going to sign his first free agency contract if you don't do anything, which I'm becoming almost certain that he's not going to, until he's 30 years old. He's getting to 30 and he didn't get offered an extension by his hometown team. There's no fucking way he's resigning. So the question is starting to become, do we think Mike Elias is going to trade Adley Rutschman in the final year before free agency? Or does he try and move him with a full year left on his contract? That way he can get an extra AA pitcher coming off of fucking Tommy John surgery or something added to the deal. I am just so tired of this asshole pretending like he's the smartest goddamn person in the room and acting like we're all a bunch of idiots for wanting the team that we spend 6 months a year for all of our lives, not just since 2018, just wanting to be like kind of good and pleasant to watch at Camden Yards. I hate you, Mike Elias. I hate you. Maybe I'll eat crow later this offseason. Maybe you'll go out and sign Carlos Correa or Carlos Rodon. Maybe we're not having smoke blown up our ass by Scott Boras when he says he's talking to you constantly. But I'm pretty confident that's not going to happen. I hate you. Like, I know that you try to tell me to trust the process, and I know that you have every right to say that. You've gone through an excruciating process. And again, the minor league system's great. And we have a team that won 83 games last year and probably will win more with just the 40-man roster that it has if you extrapolate full seasons of Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman, which is why it's so infuriating when the GM comes out and says, when you look at this next season, I don't think you can really chart a course where we win this division. There's no reason to think that, honestly. If you added a couple solid major league pieces to the team that you already have, you probably could contend for the AL East this year. It's a pretty wide open division. And it's just, why are you saying that? Why do you want us to come support you with this team? Why do you want other players to see this franchise as something they want to be a part of while you're talking about it that way? If he would just shut up, maybe I wouldn't be so frustrated, but he's found it incredibly hard to not keep talking constantly this last week, as he did nothing.